Good morning, Leo. It is morning here. This is your tarot reading for October 16th through the 31st, 2020. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for stopping by, and let's just go ahead and get started here. This is my Gorgon's Tarot. They're kind of not the easiest things to shuffle. So what we do is we just kind of do that, So we're just going to let whatever comes out, come out, and okay. So we're going to start with the Three of Swords. And so these I'm going to read upright because it's real hard to see what direction they're going unless, down the road I might change it. But right now we have a lot of other cards we can clarify with. So Three of Swords. Aren't those neat cards? They're so pretty. So we have a person sitting out on the bottom here, and she has her cat with her. Cats are kind of protectors of the spiritual realms. That's what I think. But black cats especially are special. I have a black cat too. So, Three of Swords. There's a reflection here on the pain, like dealing with the pain of like a breakup, a separation. The pain of, it's like the way it felt to have your heart broken, the way it feels like intellectually, It's emotional pain, too. So that's out the gate, Leo. Pain and breakup, separation. So the next card is Wands, and so it would appear that there's a breakup in a relationship or a home, or breakup in the home. Maybe there's a separation in the home, or marriage, an engagement. Let me see if I can get that closer for you. Marriage or engagement. Yeah, Four of Wands. So this is this is basically a celebration. The sun's up here, and there's people down below. So sorry about my throat chakra. Yeah, and it's really happy, and it's full of bounty, and it's full of celebration and potential, because it was at once a good foundation. It seemed like it was, right? Okay, so I'm just going to go through the middle right here. And I had the Hierophant. So now the Hierophant, excuse me, so sorry, is about how we've always done things. It's also about spiritual guidance. It's like a high priest card. So it's how we believe, how we bring, so sorry. Let me see. So it's how, because this figure in this picture is like a nun, okay? And she has all these elements around her. She has the moon. I'm not sure if that's the sun or not. She has the stars. So what I'm trying to say is she has spiritual guidance. That's this above. But then she also has a staff of what is on the earth. So it's kind of like how we bring our desires down into the physical. And it's about the way we think and do things. The Hierophant is also a card of Taurus. So Leo, there could be a Taurus, that's involved in this reading. Doesn't have to be. But it's also the way we've always done things, almost to the point of it's always worked. This is the way we've always done things. It's always worked. The way we thought about spirituality, or maybe the way we feel like we balance our lives, right? Every time I do a reading, they come out different. So in case you say that's not what you said last time, it's because it's an interpretation at the moment that's coming through. And the cards all have their own meaning. So this would be about about what balance is, about what death is, about what so sorry about my allergies here. About what religion is. what spirituality is. And there's two pillars here. It kind of reminds me of the High Priestess card too. So how does the way, so here's the question, okay, right now, right in this, how does what you've always been doing and thought was right and felt like you knew what the truth was or knew what your established ideas, okay? How did that play into this broken heart? How did the day in and day out, the way you create things and build your relationships, your marriage, your engagement, your home? How did maybe not being adaptable, was there anything, was any of this heartache because something wasn't adaptable anymore, because something got in between? What got in between this relationship and the love for this person, or the love for this family member, okay? Something got in the middle, but it has to do with, it feels like it has to do with not being changeable, being stagnant. You know, the way we've always done things, we always thought religion was this way, we always thought politics were this way, and I've always walked like this. Why isn't that good enough anymore? Okay, so this is the energy between the Three of Swords and the Four of Wands. So this would be the breakup, the heartache regarding the family. Breakup of the family. The heartbreak within the family. You may not be split up yet, but this is a card of separation. King of Wands. So this is fire. So it could be any fire sign, including you, of course. So Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. So King of Wands is like, it always reminds me of Sagittarius, because Sagittarius is like inspiring world traveler, ready to go in a moment's notice, doesn't want to be tied down, you know, that kind of thing, but always there to inspire others, and really tries to be fair, right? Really tries to be fair. Is happy to help others grow, whatever, you know. So like offering advice and stuff like that, right? Open like that. Okay. Let's do the bottom of the deck, and we're going to look at the Four of Wands, which is this kind of commitment and Hierophant. So it does feel like it's a marriage. Minimum. Marriage and more. Then I have the Three of Wands. So the question is, between these two cards. Okay, so Three of Wands is about how our daily actions, or the actions we take. So here's an example. You go to work and you punch in the clock and you know you're going to get a paycheck, okay? So you know that's a reward you're going to get for the work you put in, right? So if you pay the bills and you know eventually you buy a home, that your home will be paid off. But if you, let's see, how do I say this? If you no, that's just it. Within a marriage, within a home, if you do A, B, and C within that, you've always done that, and that's the way people have done this in the past, that you should get certain rewards. You should be happy. You guys should have growth in the marriage, growth in income, growth in abundance, and your rewards should come back to you, right? Okay. So that also has to do with all kinds of deeds. So whatever we put out into the universe, good or bad, high vibration or low vibration, it comes back to us. So the question would be, what came back to you here that you didn't expect to come in the way to break your heart? Okay. Because there's something unseen. How could this have happened when it was the right way to do things? But that is where the question lies. Is it's really cryptic, isn't it? Insidious, under the surface, not quite obtainable, because the way that we've been doing things does allow a place for shadows. And it has, because we haven't been completely open about who we are. Okay. All right. So here we go. Between these two energies, the King of Wands and the Three of Wands, there's a lot of fire here. And that's good, because that's representative of you. I have the High Priestess. Okay. High Priestess is the actually the counterpart to the Hierophant, you know. The High Priestess, this High Priestess, is not overshadowed by any kind of dogma. She doesn't even have the pillars by her like most of them do. The pillars are over here with the High Priest, with the Hierophant, okay? So this is a different High Priestess. There's I don't know if there's a feminine energy here that surprised somebody, okay? So if you're Leo, you were the feminine energy that surprised. And it can be flipped, but it can be, okay? If you're the masculine, then maybe a feminine surprised you, because this is the way you've always done things. And then boom, you find something out that broke your heart, or it's opposite, right? Because feminine knew. The feminine they know things. What am I getting at? Okay. It's not on the surface, right? So it's like the good old boy thing. Like how some men, and this is just an example, and I'm not sure why they're asking me to give you this example, because I wouldn't normally go here. It's like the men in certain countries, like they'll have their families and they'll do what they're supposed to do, but they always have a side piece. They always do. And their wives know it. And their wives know it. And it's something like that that's ingrained in your family, or maybe in tradition somehow. And this person knew it. But you've always done it. It's what men do. That was status quo. That is Hierophant, okay? But I'm working within the boundaries of whose boundaries? Boundaries of what's right, moral, what you consider moral, what other people look at moral, or what you really know is right in your heart. Because if you're doing it on the down low, it's not right in your heart, is it? Because otherwise you wouldn't need to. You could be open. That's how. And that's silly that we haven't even have to say that. But it's what people consider normal. Is not always the right thing to do now, is it? So, High Priestess knows everything. She knew the whole time, but she just had enough. Boom. Because somebody's heart was getting broken the whole time. Somebody was going with the flow. And somebody was doing what they always do, what they've always done, and expect things to remain as they always have been. Okay, Leo? All right, so 13 minutes. So, how does that change things right now, right? I'm just going to do 3 cards. I'm going to do one on the original card, on the original information. The heartbreak, the pain, the deception, and yes, third party. Yeah, that does stand for third party. We also have the Three of Wands. So what we put out, if somebody was not doing the right thing in their marriage and hiding stuff, but they've always done it, it's still going to come back. And it's going to come back to bite you, or it's going to come back to reward you. It's just the way it is. Actions, all things will be revealed in time. They always are. So let's look at the Three of Swords. King of Swords. It's a misuse of power. It's manipulating others with a lot. Usually it's somebody that thinks they're more intellectually endowed. That's what I'm getting. Intellectually endowed. Having more information, like somebody with a certain status. Okay. So they're used to wielding their power intellectually. Now, it could be physically, but usually it's more manipulated with information and like gaslighting, stuff like that. Trick of the words. Okay. All right. Next one, we're looking at the marriage now. Five of Pentacles. So now somebody's feeling shut out. But this is, it's almost like a self-serving. It's like something somebody did to themselves. And so let's look at the last one, the Hierophant, the way we've always done things. Hermit reversed. There's an inability here to actually sit in one's actions, to sit in one's own skin, to be within your own body, because we have to look outside of ourselves for fulfillment, okay? For peace, for validation, for whatever you feel you can't give yourself because you can't sit in your skin long enough, or somebody can't, to actually process how you're feeling. It's like we look for validation outside of us, so we never get to even know who we are. It's just about it's so automatic that it's a place of no control. Okay, until you can sit quietly and understand and look at the whole situation, it's going to feel this way. Okay, so there's a need to go within and really start looking at your behavior, somebody's behavior. Somebody needs to start looking at how this all happened. So changes can be made in a positive way, because it'll keep going around in circles. I think you might know that by now. Okay. So, Magical Dimensions cards. These are portals, activators. So, I keep saying soul activators, but I really think they are. They're oracle cards. Okay. So, harmonic resolution. So this is about transmuting negative energy, negativity, and anger. Transmutation of that energy, and there's a lot of light codes going on here. It's about raising your vibration. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick read on that one. It's 19. 19 is 10. 10 is the end and also the beginning. And I went too far. Okay, so harmonic resolution resonates to the thickness and the heaviness of the lower dimensions. This can cause disturbance and scattering of energy and over-identification with emotions of frustration, anger, isolation, and confusion, which disrupts the auric field. So auric field would be just your energy in general. Divine light codes transmute these emotions, diffusing and disarming lower emotional states, and return the auric field to harmony, peace, and serenity. That's why going within is so important, and getting away from having other people try to fix how you feel. Okay, it's looking within, not on the outside. Is finding your own light in your own way, your own path. Okay, finding your own self. You need to acknowledge some of the lower level emotions, hidden negativity, frustration, and confusion that may be a factor right now. Release any unfocused and distracting mental chatter. Breathe deeply and diffuse excessive mental and emotional energies to regain your balance. You may also have attracted people in your life who are operating from lower vibrations, and you need to disconnect from this. Wow, that was kind of hard to say. And I think it might be a little bit hard for you to disconnect from them. That would be your side piece or your third party, because if they were in high vibration, they wouldn't be engaging in an affair, and you wouldn't be either if you were high vibration. Sorry, it's the way it is. You would deal with what you need to deal with. And there's a reason why we have relationships and marriages, and if they're not right, then we need to be honest about that. We don't have to be anything, but it might help our path to happiness. Okay, so the companion crystals are rhodonite and shungite, and the essential oil is Palo Santo. So, Hermit card, it might be, if you meditate, if you don't meditate, it might be a good time to do that, because that's when you receive new information and new light codes. If you just say, oh, this is a bunch of crap, thank you for at least watching it, and give yourself a little bit of window to receive something. that will surprise you. Change my mind, tell me. Change my mind. Challenge accepted. Have a good couple weeks and happy Halloween. Take care.